Hey, good evening, everybody. Hey, hope you're all doing very well. Today is March the 6th, and we're going to do a Sunday weekly roundup right before the weekly candle ends up closing. I actually ended up waking up because my alerts went off for Bitcoin, and I realized, you know what? I promised you guys I'm going to do a weekly Sunday roundup every Sunday that I'm here when I'm not on vacation, and here we are right now. So let's take a look first of all at Bitcoin, and then we'll talk about how the overall market has been trending as well. So this week, I haven't made any single profit yet. I'm still actually down $6,000 this week over two trades. And the main reason I haven't been trading is because just the market conditions are horrible for doing anything right now. So I'm not really in the mood to be longing right now. But there may be a bounce coming up. And before I get into that bounce, I want to talk to you about the mechanics of how head and shoulder patterns are formed through an Elliott wave pattern. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with head and shoulder patterns, which look something like this, right? It's got a higher head, and then the left shoulder and the right shoulder is actually a lot lower than the actual head itself, something like that. So let me explain it to you from the perspective of an Elliott wave theory. And I'm just going to be very brief this video. I wanted to more so just make sure that I commit to my word. So maybe the quality might not be as good as my other videos. I'm extremely tired right now, and I literally woke up just to make you guys a video because I thought it was important to keep my word. So the way that Elliott wave theory works for head and shoulder patterns is this right here. You're going to see a break between waves A and 4. And when this break occurs, people usually short this C wave right over here. So you're going to see a connection of waves 4 and A. So waves 2, 3, and 4 end up forming the left shoulder. Then 4, 5, and A make the head. And then A, B, and C, it ends up making the right shoulder. So just to give you more clarity on how it looks, let me just get the pattern here for you. So this is how it's looking. Something like that, and I think we'd all agree that it can look something very similar to this, right? So you got the left shoulder, you got the head, you got the right shoulder looking just like that. And if we actually take a look on how BTC is trending right now, we're seeing that something very similar could be occurring. We got this slope trend line that happens like that. And perhaps this right here is a waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that has formed already. And then now perhaps this is a possible ABC that's also forming as well, where there could be a bounce to the upside. Now, I'm not sure if there's going to actually be a bounce right over here. Like, there's no guarantees of an actual bounce, but from the way it's looking so far, it has been trending in this sideways motion for like, how long now, guys? Since the 3rd, so for about 3 solid days now, over 72 hours. There's a possibility that a long opportunity could be made. And I think the long would probably be above the most recent high, around $22,650. There's been a lot of fake outs so far, so I'd recommend to be incredibly careful with everything that you're doing. Like, I don't know if it's going to bounce here or not. Nobody knows. But one thing that we are clear about is that if it does not bounce, the first level of a possible support would most likely be around the 21,400, 500 range. And the reason for that is because of the previous resistance, previous support. So if we all of a sudden break below where this yellow line is right now, the most logical place for us to take our profit or enter, like if you're entering a short position, you'd want to take your profit around there. Or perhaps there's a possible long opportunity as well here. So in my opinion, I'm not really sure which one I'm more so leaning towards. If it bounces, great. We would end up hitting a pretty substantial number. If I took the volume profiler, if you take this left option over here, oh, not that one, this one here, and then go to fixed range volume profiler, if, for example, I started it like around here, just as an example, like just say here, okay, and I ended it like somewhere up there, what you would get is the point of center, which would be right here. This is where the volume concentration was at this particular price point. And you'll see that it's around the $22,880, right around there. So we ended up bouncing right up here. Would be a very reasonable target. Now let me show you something else that's very, very coincidental as well. If I were to take, for example, a channel that's forming right here, like if I did like literally a channel like that, okay? You agree with me that this is a good channel? Because it hits many points, right? It hits like, how many points does it hit here? So many points. Hits up there, all of here, 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 here. So we would agree that's a pretty decent point so far. So that means that if the point of center and the channel ends up working out, we could possibly hit like $22,900 range right now. So that's more so on the bullish side, okay? On the bullish side, no problem, we can hit up there. But on the bearish side, if we fall through, we would end up hitting right around the 21,450 range. Now let's take it a step further and take the point of center. For example, if I were to go from here to there, am I doing it right? Yeah, right there. So I took the point of center from literally down over here all the way to like over here even, okay? And what I'm getting is that the point of center is right here around $19,130. If I take my Fibonacci retracement range, guess what? That point of center is also 100% coinciding with the golden ratio right here. See this? Right at the 61.8. So ideally, we would eventually get a break to the downside. So this is my ideal goal. I like to speculate to see what could possibly happen. And what I would love to happen right now is this. This could be the A. Perhaps that's a B somewhere. And then we get a huge C to the downside right to the golden ratio. If we end up hitting this particular range down over there, 19,200, you can be sure that I'm probably going to be asking my family members to borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions, if I could, because I'd like to dollar cost average and end up buying a gigantic position from anywhere between 0.5 all the way down to 0.618. I was kidding about the borrowing money part, but I was very serious about the whole making sure that I buy literally as much as I can, because you guys won't get another lifetime opportunity. You have to think about the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now that all 5 waves are actually in already, you won't get another opportunity to buy, because this is a golden ratio retracement and you just don't know if it's actually going to go lower or if it's just going to end up bouncing there and reaching the moon. So here, I'm going to be super interested in buying. And if I'm wrong, that's no problem at all. At least I took that opportunity to buy and be in the position that is the most opportune time to buy. So right here, in my opinion, the risk is extremely low. And because it's so low, because there's a 5 solid wave impulse, like a solid 5 wave impulse movement to the upside, I'm going to make sure that I buy there. And I'm sorry to say this to you guys, but like, I'm not trying to be rude, but if I were to advise my closest friends in the world, which I actually manage 5 friends' account for them, their whole portfolio, and we manage over $10 million altogether, and I've been managing it for them since 2018. And I don't really like to talk about this because it's more on the personal side and it's not something I normally do, but because I do manage it for them, I'm going to be straight out and tell you guys that my portfolio is also a part of it as well. The decisions that I make for my portfolio, which is valued over 1.7 million right now, it's also the same decisions that I make for my friends as well, where they have over an 8-figure portfolio that I manage for them. So I'm being very clear that when I make a decision for myself, my 5 friends that I met in 2017 online, I've only met one of them face to face. 4 of them I haven't, and they trust me to manage it for them. And I'm kidding you not that that's going to be one of the best positions for me to end up adding a gigantic amount. I ended up shedding about 15 to 20% of that portfolio, of the big one up here, because I anticipated a gigantic drop, because I anticipated that this was going to be a 5th wave that has formed already up there. So if it gets to around 19,200, you can bet on my life that I'm going to be adding a gigantic amount to this position right here. And I think that it would be very wise for you to be interested and also looking at these particular price points. Now, I'm not trying to give you financial advice. I'm more so talking about it from the perspective of what I would do. but you have to understand once again that this is a 5 impulse wave going to the upside. This is a golden ratio retracement right here as well. And because of that, I'm extremely interested in adding a gigantic amount to my long-term position. And how much do I charge them? You guys are probably curious about what I charge them. And don't take this the wrong way. Like, I'm not telling you guys so I can offer to charge you. I would never take like the public's or my followers' money to invest for them. I only do it for my friends because, well, they have a lot of better things to do with their time now, put it that way. They used to all work like normal jobs, and then crypto changed their life in 2017, and I actually met them all online. And I helped them make a lot of money through Omizi Go, especially IOTA and EOS. And when you have a lot of followers in crypto, which I do, you tend to make a lot of friends long term, especially in the position I was in back in 2017 when I was starting out and I was doing lots of technical analysis on coins like Omizi Go, IOTA, XRP. So if you guys actually go back to my first few videos on my YouTube here back in September 7, 2017, which is like 6 years ago, you're going to see that I focus a lot on coins like Omizi Go, right? Metaverse, funny Metaverse, right? EOS, right? Those were my main coins that exploded. IOTA. So EOS, Omizi Go, IOTA, as you guys can see here, they were like my top coins. Omizi Go, right? Omizi Go. I was doing a lot of technical analysis on these coins, and they all blew up. Like they freaking like they blew up to some of the biggest numbers that you'll ever see in the world. So for example, if you go to like IOTA back in the days, if I even have any data to show you back in the days, like here's an example. Okay, here's IOTA USD. It went from like 0.06 cents to like dollars. So it made some monster gains of like 10,000% kind of gains, right? So because of that, combined with coins like EOS, so here's EOS as well, back in 2017 when it was like 50 cents, it ended up doing some monster percentages in thousands of percents. And then, Omizi Go, IOTA, EOS, they all did the same things. So my friends ended up making a lot of money through it. So and they don't care about crypto, like they never really cared about it. It's just like more of an investment, and they have other things on the go. So they're like, hey, just manage it, because I made a lot of friends and I became very close with them in 2017. So they're like, just manage it for us. I'm like, okay, well, I got to charge you something, right? So you guys are probably wondering what I charge them. I charge them 1.8% every single year. So if they're whatever that portfolio is worth, I charge them a fee of 1.8% annually. And it really, really depends on like where I take that profit. It could be depending on the year. Like if it's a bear market cycle, I might take it, for example, on a month-to-month basis for that 1.8%. But if it's a bull market year, right, the watermark yield, that refers to basically where I take that percentage, right? It could be like at a higher price point depending on the portfolio of the year, right? If it's in a bull market, I want to wait for the highest possible point. So the calculations for the profit, it really depends on how the market is. Not only that, it's a 1.8%. That's my fee. That's my literally my annual fee that I charge them just for managing their portfolio. And then there's a performance fee as well, where I charge them, the typical is usually about 18 to 20%, but I charge them only 16% of the profit. So when their portfolio was a little bit smaller, right, I didn't really make much. But now that there's a performance fee on top of the basically the net profit, depending on the performance, that's where, and the calculations can be really difficult. It's not like, it really depends on the period, right? So the mathematical calculation on the actual profit, it really varies. And I've got a formula for them to follow, and they can see everything live. So I would take about 16% profit on the actual profit that we make for that particular period. So it works out pretty well, but I gotta admit it's really freaking stressful. I'm not telling you guys this so I can pitch you the idea of investing for you. Trust me, it's not gonna be like that. Ever. I'm just more still talking about it for fun. And we've grown anywhere between, I think it was 2 or 3 million to over 8 million, or sorry, to over 10 million, 8 figures now. So doing pretty well, right? It's more so one of their little hobbies. So back to Bitcoin right now. Anyways, I got too much into that. I still believe that Bitcoin's gonna end up moving. Like, if I had to bet right now, okay, guys, if I had to bet on the fact that two choices. One, is it gonna break that yellow line? Let me clean up my chart. I apologize. One, is it gonna break that yellow line and come to the downside and hit 21.5 first? Or two, is it gonna break this channel and make the B wave upwards? If I had to bet, guys, it would actually be betting on the upside. Okay, I'm just gonna be 100% honest right now. I think that it's more likely to break to the upside. It's probably going to hit this upper channel over here and then smash out of the POC. I think that we're going to retrace an entire amount of this whole thing, maybe anywhere between here, like 382 all the way up to the golden ratio. And then after it hits up there, I think that we're going to head to the downside and we're going to make a huge correction. So it's going to do something like this first, like if I had to bet on it. Okay. And in fact, I've already bet on it. As you can see here, I'm in a position right now for 44 Bitcoins, which is, how much is that? I don't even know. Which is $1 million. I'm in a position for in a long. So 44 Bitcoins, $988,000. I was actually up, believe it or not, like earlier. Like, I'm talking, let me show you guys over here, okay? I didn't take my profit here, and I was kind of angry that I didn't when it was up there, and I was up like $12,000. 100%, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was up $12,000, and I didn't take my profit up there because I thought it would keep going, right? So I've been riding this position for, actually, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been riding this position, this long position right here, since the 4th, like around the 4th. Okay, kept buying it like literally at the top on the 4th. So I've been riding this position for about 48 hours now. And my stop is going to be like around under 22,300. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll lose like $3,000-$4,000 and I'm okay with that. But if I'm right about this, okay, we're going to end up hitting like, guys, this is probably the most relaxed I've ever been in a technical analysis video, where I'm just like super, super chill. Because lately I've been exercising a lot and I'm super sore right now and I don't have the energy to be like ferocious like I normally am. So if we break out of here though and I'm right, we're going to smash 22.9 eventually. Probably going to get up to somewhere like at least 23,800 in my opinion. And then we'll finally start a downtrend. But know this for a fact that I expect this slow correction period to last for an incredibly long period of time. And I don't think that we're going to finish it anytime soon. We have to remember that we ended up rallying, guys, for literally 90 days, over 65%. So after every major rally, please understand that there's going to be some sort of major correction that's going to happen right now, okay? And a lot of people would argue that this is a bearish flag, but man, I don't know. I've got no idea. We've seen patterns like that unfold before. Like we have, you know? So on a micro time frame, we've seen many. I don't want to go back and search for them. There's just, it's not like it's this pattern. It's not a bearish flag pattern like that. You know what I mean? It's freaking not. It's more like a pattern like this, you can say. I mean, if you look at it really closely right now, it's not a bearish flag in any way. Like, no way. It's not like that, okay? It's not like that either, where it's making a descending triangle. I mean, you look at it from like this perspective, wick, 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 and then now it's shooting up. If you take a look at the MACD, I mean, it's going to the upside. 5 hours going up, 6 hours about to cross over in about 2 hours, and I just and if you take a look at aggregate trades, okay? If you take a look at ag trade right now, what you'll see is that right now, it's pretty even. In the past 30 minutes, okay, I'm going to make it smaller so you guys can see. If you take a look here, in the past 30 minutes, 530 million sold, 490 million bought. Make sure you guys are using aggregate trades. It's a very, very good website for when there's volatility. But if there's no volatility, it is a very useless website. I mean, this is how cool it is. You can aggregate all the trades. Here's the website, AGRR, right here, .trade, okay? So it'll compile, like take every single exchange that sells and buys Bitcoin, every exchange, and it'll compile it into a chart like this, okay? And this is extremely useful as well because it takes the volume for 30 seconds, 1 minute, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and it tells you which side is pushing more. So when there's extreme volatility and you're actually trading this coin and you look at this, you can easily identify which coins are moving up, or sorry, how hard it's moving up, how hard it's moving down. So make sure you're using this website. It's such a good website, guys, okay? So other than that, Bitcoin has fell down a lot and alts have taken a beating with them. If we take a look at alts today, I kid you not, today I'm so chill for some reason. Like, I'm just so chill. We see that a lot of coins have recovered, right? A lot of coins have more, like, we take a look right now, not that many coins are red. And if they are, they're barely under 2%. But every other coin has rallied. So it's got to show something right now. I mean, if we take a look at the weekly gainers, I didn't even trade a single coin. But if we take a look at it, and we take a look at it from the perspective of USDTP, we'll see that barely any coins did anything except for MKR. Like MKR, NNX, AGIX, these are all new coins. Like you know, an MKR is not that new, but like, you know, it's the only coin that moved upwards a little bit. And you guys got to remember that, like, MKR, notice how it's red here? It means that it's on my watch list. I should take Philo. So MKR is reaching a possible resistance if you're noticing here. But if you're also noticing something, MKR is the only coin that's actually at a higher high than the beginning of January. I'm stuttering. So January was here. MKR is at a higher high than every time right now, like this whole year. But if you look at every other coin, they're not, except for SNX and AGIX. Every other coin reached the high the same time that Bitcoin did, and it's all falling down now. So other than that, we can only assume that there's only a rare amount of coins that are actually going against what Bitcoin is doing. And those are the coins that you probably want to focus on trading, the ones that are going against the grain. It's really difficult right now to try to catch a falling knife. If you try to do that, you're just going to end up getting burned. It's better to let Bitcoin drop and let all these alts drop with it. And then once it drops with it, what you do is you wait for a huge major bounce, and then you wait for a continuation for the long side. So as it stands, there's only been a few coins that have been going against Bitcoin. As you can see, for Bitcoin, everything has dropped for the whole week. So the week started around February 29th or so, like around here, February 28th rather. And then since then, Bitcoin's just been a major decline. So you can't really expect much from other coins right now. You can see coins like BNX. Oh my God. This coin shouldn't even be looked at anymore. It literally shouldn't even be looked at. It's a shit coin. Like, don't look at fucking this coin to day trade, guys. Don't look at it, okay? Please do not look at it. It's a shit coin. The RSI goes to like 14 on a 2 hour. Don't look at it. It's a bad coin. Know when to avoid coins. There's been like Coco and Alpha and Magic. All these coins are dropping stupid amounts. And the thing is, who gives a shit what they're doing? All that matters is what happens to Bitcoin right now. Because what happens to Bitcoin, it's going to end up dictating the rest of the market. So I highly recommend for you to just follow Bitcoin. During these times, just look for the highest volume coin, that altcoin, other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then just look at what Bitcoin's doing. And then look in the past to see if they've been following Bitcoin. And we can say that all coins have been following Bitcoin, right? You guys would agree on that. All coins are following Bitcoin. So because of that, what Bitcoin does, these coins will follow as well. So you just gotta do a technical analysis on Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin bounces, you have an option to trade Bitcoin, or you have the option to trade that altcoin. But look for that altcoin with high volume. You don't want to go to a coin with like $50 million of volume. Extremely low volume coins, they have a very high chance of one, being manipulated, two, having great slippage for the position you want to get into. Three, they can easily be manipulated as well. Four, you're just not going to get the fills that you want because of the liquidity and the slippage issues. And it's just a really shit coin to trade. Like, you're not going to be able to exit your positions in a timely manner or enter them if you have a larger position, because small volume coins, low volume coins, they're just impossible to trade. I mean, if myself, as you guys know, I trade anywhere from 500K to a million. And when I trade these types of sizes on a coin that has like $150 million of 24-hour volume, I'm literally going in there as a mother effing whale. And when I go in there as a whale, it really disrupts the market, and it's really difficult for me to trade these coins, if not impossible. So you have to have some sort of standards for the coins that you trade. If you don't have any kind of standards and you just choose any random Joe Blow coin, it's not good for your long-term career as a day trader. You got to make sure you got these standards now for everything that you decide to do in your life, whether it's what you eat and put into your body, or the friends that you decide to keep in your life, or the women that you decide to date, or the trades that you take in your life. Okay? You got to make sure you have a set of standards that you adhere to. You can't just run to every single coin that looks like there's an opportunity to make a percent or two. Hey, if I slept with, back in my days, if I slept with like, or if I got with every single chick that wanted to meet me, that would be, and like, I would be either broke or dead, or something would be wrong with my health, right? So you got to have standards for everything that you do in your life. If I decide to take every single trade that looked like it might move 1%, probably wouldn't be doing that well. So it's important to define this criteria that you have for trading and what kind of coins you're going to be looking at for trading. And in my opinion, the best coin to trade are the ones that at least have $100 million of volume. There's a lot of people in my Discord group that literally try to post coins and setups on coins that have like $25 million of volume. And I tell them, excuse me, I'm stuttering. I tell them, what the F is wrong with you? Get some standards in your life. If the volume is not a minimum of at least $100 million on Binance, always use Binance as a reference. If it's not $100 million on Binance, don't even trade it on whatever exchange that you're trading it on. But if it's over $100 million on Binance, then it's okay to trade. So make sure you follow that rule religiously, first of all. If it doesn't pass that criteria of $100 million to long, then, or to short, or to trade it, just don't even look at it. Move on to the next coin and go from there. You're going to find many, many other opportunities from that point on. Doesn't mean you have to force these trades when you know over time, if you have traded them as much as me, the coins are under $100 million of volume. If you've traded it as much as me, you would know that the best thing to do is just to avoid them because of all the reasons I mentioned before. So having a standard set criteria for you to follow, for you to trade, for you to enter, for you to even consider it and to be interested, you got to have like a minimum checklist of things. So I just want to be really clear about that you got to make sure you don't fuck around with trading. Don't fuck around with the things that you do in your life. Have a set of standards. It's really easy. So I just want to leave you guys with this, that first of all, to summarize, looking at alts, they're following Bitcoin. Like, people are anticipating a bounce here because of what I mentioned of the ABC pattern where the B is going up. There's a major trend line. There's a head and shoulders possibly forming. So yeah, there's a possible bounce right here. That's why I'm long, like I showed you. And alts are also reacting in that way preemptively. The whole week, Bitcoin ended up falling down from a high of like whatever this was, 24,000 down to like 22,000. So It fell down like 10% and or like 8 9%. Because of that, the whole market was shaken as well, and alts end up following them as well. And the best thing to do is to see if Bitcoin bounces, follow one of these alts to see which ones move with Bitcoin. And there's an opportunity to long one of these alts as Bitcoin ends up bouncing. Holy crap, it's been 30 minutes already. But you know what? I woke up in the middle of the night, guys. It's literally 1 in the morning right now, as you can see right here. I woke up an hour ago because my alert went off, and I got on the computer just because I wanted to prove to myself and to you that I would stick to my word of actually making a Sunday roundup just for you guys. Last week didn't count, right? Or sorry, the week before that didn't count. I was on vacation. You guys can't hold me accountable for that. It's not fair. But if you enjoyed my content, I would really appreciate a like and just hit that subscribe button, guys. I'm always here to help you and answer any questions that you have because I want to ultimately help you become a better trader or a better investor. And why should you subscribe to me? Well, I'm one of those losers in my life that turned like $2,000 into an expo market. I'll probably have like $10 million. And I just want to see you guys share the same success, learn some of my strategies. Maybe I can impart some wisdom over my effed up years of trading in the market, and maybe I can help you guys become the trader or investor that you want to become. So thank you very much for liking this content and subscribing, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, just make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps the algorithm reach more people. And I'm not trying to sell anything in these videos, as you can tell. I'm just here on my own time making a video, trying to help you guys. Oh, by the way, if you want to join my Discord group, just take a look at the description below, guys. I run a private trading Discord group. Bye now. Have a good night. Take care.